achievement for him.
Yeah, brilliant for John, and as we say, we're very pro club down here, pushing all our lads to try and get call-ups, and we were lucky last year. We had Lenny, and it's great for Cav. Important thing for him is that Noel King is a big supporter of our league. He likes promoting players that make the breakthrough, and as all our local players can see, if they can break into our first team, there's big opportunities for them. And the most important thing for Cav is keep his feet in the ground and let his football do the talking, and so it's a great honour for him.
It'll put him in the shop window a little bit, won't it?
Yeah, it will, and I suppose that's the real attraction for this club, in the sense that it's as we saw last year with Lenny, it was an honour for the club that we could sell a fella to the Premiership, albeit that they got relegated the other day. But I think about the fact that he went from us to that level, and it puts Cav in the shop window. But the most important thing he has to do is hold his concentration, keep his head down, because while there'll be a lot of media talk, and there'll be some clubs may be interested in, there'll be a lot of rumours going around, it can affect the guy, and he can lose his concentration, can lose his form. And the most important thing is that he can't afford to do that. And but it's fantastic for him, and again, it's another one of our own young fellas coming through, and it's really where the club wants to be at, bringing our own players through.
It's a very similar trajectory to Lenny, isn't it? Like right back, bombs down the wing, gets call up, and then gets noticed by Cross Channel Club.
Yeah, and well, you see, I think the big thing at the moment is that they've seen that we are producing very good players, but they're not interested unless they're in the first team. And there's no doubt in my mind that the fact that Lenny had 30 games under his belt, that's why Steve Bruce wanted him, because he could see he was used to men's football, he knew the standard here was good, and that's what they want. So they're not interested in taking players that are in your reserve team or in your under-19s. They want players who break into the first team. So that's the challenge. So Cav is similar. There's lots of similar strengths to Lenny. In some ways, there's certain areas that he's better, but also there's areas that Brian was better than Cav and whatever. But the big thing for him is that it's a real opportunity. He's a lovely kid, great attitude, and but he's still young, and it's all about holding his head and keeping his feet in the ground.
It keeps the continuity going, John. Come back to fellas like Liam Kearney, Greg O'Halloran, they're all captain under 21 level.
Yes.
So it's good recognition for the club.
Absolutely. It is, yeah.
About the talent coming through.
Yeah, and last week Noel King was in town. He was launching the Cork City Nagle Community School Academy, which is going to be a big driver for us. And I think you see that it's positive to have a manager who understands the league, who's been involved in the league as a player, as a manager, and is quite keen on bringing through players who get into the first team. And that's why it's good for us, and it's good for the lads. And I suppose the more guys we get capped at that level, the better for the club.
Yeah, Wexford now on Friday, after going out of one cup last week. How important is it now to get another cup run going?
Big, yeah. There's a big difference, because the FAI Cup is a huge cup. You know what I mean? It's the second biggest competition in this country, and it's a pathway to Europe. And it's the final is in the Aviva Stadium, so to be fair, there's no comparison between the FAI Cup and the League Cup. So the FAI Cup will be the same as any league match. We'll be going full strength. Wexford second at the table, new manager Shane Keegan, who's done really, really well, and hard working team, physically strong team, and going to a venue where there probably won't be a lot of atmosphere there. So it's a bit like probably going to UCD or one of these grounds, so it can be difficult. So we need to be on our game, and being a cup tie, obviously they'll raise themselves because they're playing us, so we need to be on our game. So we'll be going there full strength.
I know it's a bit of a cliche, and I don't like cliches at all, but going up to a first division club away from home in the cup is a massive banana skin potentially.
It is, and I suppose we see over the years, that's the beauty about soccer. You underestimate anyone, and you get knocked out all across the world. That's the way it is, and it's a huge competition for us, and we need to prepare properly, and we won't be taking any chances, and we certainly will be going up there with the strongest team, and we know it can be difficult sometimes going to these venues, because the opposition will raise their game, and the atmosphere won't be massive up there. But at the same time, you know, if you have ambitions to go further in this cup, you have to go to Wexford and get a result, and you know, we're confident that we'll do that.
How's the injury situation?
Injury situation at the moment is Johnny is out, Danny is out, and Kieran Jalali, so they're all out. Danny is probably the one that could be back sooner rather than later. The other two are out long term. Ben is back in training, so he'll come back into the squad for the weekend. And other than that, everyone has trained yesterday and trained this morning, so you know, we expect to have a full squad to pick from.
John, like Rory was saying there, Wexford, they've been kind of inconsistent and a bit erratic. Even like they won 7-0 one week, lose 4-1 the next week. That kind of makes them just kind of a dangerous opponent, really, isn't it?
Well,
and unpredictable.
Well, they were probably favourites for the first division with UCD at the start of the year, and obviously Finn Harps have blazed the trail and done exceptionally well, but Wexford were tucked in there second, and you know, following the first division, everyone is saying that probably Wexford are probably the best team out there. So he's assembled a good squad. He's brought in a few lads who were with Bowes last year. He brought a few lads up from Waterford. Obviously we know ourselves, Wexford is quite a strong area. You know, Wexford Carlow for soccer needs a lot of, you know, guys who were played with good junior clubs there. So you know, it's a funny game because I'll put it this way to you, I would have much preferred to have the game at home than away. And it's a funny game because, you know, in going into these games, these teams have nothing to lose. You know, their big thing is to get promoted, whereas so they come out and have a cut off us. And the danger is if you're not on your game, it can become awkward, and that's why you have to approach these games in the right mentality and hope that everyone is on their game to make sure that we need to be on our game and be confident out there, because it can be tricky, you know, and always in the cup you'll always get an upset in some of the rounds of the cup, and you just to make sure that you're not in the end of it. So
so the Danny Furlong factor.
Yeah, you've Danny, who's it could happen, and Danny's getting loads and loads of goals for them, and I don't know the lad, you know, he was gone when I came here, and you know, huge pedigree. I know the time that he was at the club here, things didn't go as well for him as he would have hoped, but still he's prolific in the first division. So and doing well, and like, you know, you look at the keeper, probably Graham Doyle, one of the best keepers out there. He's probably certainly good enough to play in the Premier, and they've the big lad Delaney at centre back, and you know, they got Adam Mitchell from Bowes, so they've a lot of, you know, they've played decent players around the park, but at the same time, you know, we're a Premier team, you know, we're second at the table, and we just must guard against complacency. If we do that and go out with the right attitude, you know, we are better than Wexford, there's no doubt about that, and you know, but at the same time you can't underestimate anyone either.
And given how hectic the League Cup Ireland schedule can be keen to avoid a replay and get the job done on Friday night.
Well, it's the first time in a month, Rory, that we're back to, if you like, we have 3 weeks coming up where we have 3 Friday matches, so you have no midweek games. So the last thing you want is ending up having a replay, because it's been very hectic and the rest of recovery has taken its toll. So, you know, we've been looking forward to getting the 3 weeks with no midweek match. So you certainly don't want a replay unless you score. Okay.
First off, the call up. Congratulations.
Thanks very
where
much.
were you when you got the call?
Sorry?
Where were you when you got the call?
Just at home, really.
Yeah.
Just after training yesterday, so just having a bit of lunch, and I got the call in, so I was delighted. No, it was somebody from the club let me know, so I think they got an email or something, so that's the usual procedure, so delighted, obviously. Yeah.
Were you expecting it?
To be honest, no, it's not something I thought about. All along I've just been concentrating on doing well here and trying to do my best to stay in the team, you know. So no, I wasn't expecting it, but I'm delighted it's happened, and it's a huge honour.
I suppose it's a real validation of how well you've been playing, and as a whole how Cork City have been playing.
Exactly, yeah, like, you know, I think last year obviously Brian Lennon got called into the 21s as well, and just shows when a Cork team is doing well that players get the recognition and stuff, so I think that's down to the team as well, you know, but yeah, happy enough.
Calgary a long line of under 21 players who come through the club, so it's great to keep the continuity going. The Cork now have a reputation of producing young footballers, you know, that go on and get capped at under 21 hopefully.
Yeah.
under 23 and senior level.
Yeah.
Conscious of that, like people like Liam Kearney and Greg O'Halloran, Ryan Donovan. The list is endless.
Yeah.
But you've joined that list. So.
Yeah, delighted with that as well. You know, there's a lot of big names, and there's a poster up in the gym. You know, it's Kevin Doyle, Shane Long, and David Myler. You know, it's it's producing Irish International since 1984, I think. So, you know, it's great for the club and gets recognition, which is great.
And we were saying, obviously, this is going to put you even more in the shop window in terms of one or two cross-channel clubs. So there's been one or two scouts already over at matches in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, you're going to hear them things anyway, but
that's an ambition of yours, is to get the chance to go, isn't it?
I suppose it would be, you know, any kind of young footballer in this league, that's their ambition. You know, it's kind of the place to be, really, I suppose, England, like, but I would say I can just keep doing my best and hopefully stay in the team, and hopefully I get something out of that. But at the moment I'm just focusing on Cork City, and obviously a huge game now Friday night, and looking forward to that as well.
How are you feeling after last Friday's draw?
It was disappointing, kind of a long weekend, really. You know, you'd be thinking about it and stuff, but you know, I suppose it's another point on the board if you want to look at it that way, positively. But you know, it wasn't a great game, or we didn't create many chances, but I thought we did have the better chances. But I suppose all we can do is just hang on in there. You know, there's a long way to go and plenty of football to be played, so we can't be feeling sorry for ourselves.
How would it mean to you to get to the Aviva in November for the cup final?
It's unbelievable. Obviously it's a long way away, plenty of matches to play till then, but you know, we're Cork City, we want to win everything and we want to be competitive in everything, so you know,
that prospect would keep it, drives you on, doesn't it, I suppose?
Yeah, it does, yeah.
The cup comes around, you'll be thinking that.
Yeah, you do, yeah. Great day out, like, and everything, so
5,000 fans from Cork up there, like.
And we get that as well, no doubt about it. But yeah, obviously it'd be unbelievable if it happened, but plenty of football to be played before then, and we can't look ahead of Wexford Friday night. So definitely, yeah, they're flying, like, and in fairness, it's a tough place to go, you know, it's not easy, so we'll have to be on our toes.
When you after getting this under 21 call up now, just look back in your earlier career with Ringman and Knockgraha, who would be the one or two guys that you were thinking about yesterday, like saying, Jesus, they helped me when I was a kid, you know, coming through?
Yeah, I suppose
the first one or two people who would have had an influence on you.
At least I Knockgraha, I suppose Colin Tuig, really. He was kind of he was the man who got me involved in soccer. I was only 11 at the time, and I had no real interest in it, to be honest, but it just kind of grew from there. And then I moved to Ringman, and there was obviously the likes of Paul Higgins, John Kenny, Kieran O'Reilly as well, and those are the people I kind of work with Ringman through under 13, 14, 15 and 16. And then you Conor Brett as well, who would have been a big influence, you know. He'd always have his say around the team and things like that, like, so those are the people, I suppose, really, that I thought of yesterday, and I'm happy for them as well, I suppose. But you know, when you have the likes of Eric as well, Eric Grimes and Alan Brown from Ringman, so yeah, I suppose it's a huge privilege, I suppose, really, for Ringman, and they're delighted with that.
When you were starting out there, when you mentioned when you started kind of 10 or 11, were you playing GA at that stage with Knockgraha at the time, or
I was playing with Aaron Zone?
Or not your first love, it was your first game. Did you start out playing hurling or football first and then move to soccer? That was it, yeah.
I came from a kind of GA background, more or less, and in primary school, Knockgraha National School, so and then more or less, yeah. There was no soccer in that school, but it was kind of a GA background, my family, and all along I was playing GA, like. And I kind of took up soccer, really, just to keep fit during the winter, to be honest. But I suppose, thankfully, I kept it up.